right. Good evening, Manisha. Thank you so much for messaging me. I was so glad to see your message. It was so sweet. Thank you so much for being so kind. And I was definitely very eager to meet you. So, finally, very happy to be able to be here, connect with you. And I'm looking forward to a very interesting discussion with you. How are you?
Same here, man. Ma'am, even I can't express myself that how I am feeling. I was so eager to talk to you, and I was waiting the whole day that when the day time will arrive, then that I will be able to connect to ma'am. I know that
Wow.
me, but somehow you are familiar to me. And thank you so much for accepting my request, ma'am.
You're most welcome. Thank you. I think this is one of the most, I would say, rewarding part of being on YouTube since the time I have been interacting with all of you through YouTube for the last 4 or 5 months. This is one thing that I really enjoy, although there are a lot of requests, and sometimes it really takes me a lot of time in between my sessions and all of that to connect with all of you. But then this is something which I really look forward to because I love, first of all, I love interacting with people and getting to know somebody new every day. This is something that I really look forward to. So thank you so much. I should thank each and every one of you because it is only because of you that I am able to do something that I love on a daily basis. So thank you so much.
And it's my honor that I'm talking to you. Oh my god. And because of this English language right now I'm talking to someone oh my
You
god.
don't need to be nervous at all. I am just like you all. It's just
Uh,
that I have been in touch with the language for a very long time. That is why probably the ease with the language or the comfort with the language is a little more. But other than that, I'm just exactly somebody like all of you. And that's why probably I love connecting with all of you all the time. So thank you so much. So, okay, Manisha, I hope you know at least a little bit about me. If you have any specific questions, I would love to answer them for you. But before that, why don't you tell me a little bit about Manisha? Who is Manisha?
yeah. So first of all, my name is not Manisha ma'am. My name is Mohsina.
Oh,
Yeah.
Masina. Okay, that's what on the screen. It shows your Skype name shows as Manisha, and your WhatsApp name also shows as Manisha.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm.
And when it comes to I am like that kind of person that I can talk to anyone. I'm kind of extrovert
Ah,
person. But when it comes to talking, yeah, this is my second time only I'm going to record. So that's why
wow.
I feel that I should be confident. Ma'am is not
Uh-huh.
going to kill me or punish me if I make mistake. It's okay. Still,
Yes.
I believe that if I once I do it couple of times, I would think
Hmm.
because now when it comes to communicating in English, it is not a big
Hmm.
deal. So I want
Right.
to introduce myself. Yeah. My name is Mosina.
Mm-hmm.
What should I do?
It's okay. It's okay. We all can get a call at times. It's okay. You can continue. I just heard my name is Mosina.
Yeah, my name is Mosina. I am from Assam. I'm a homemaker, mother of two kids. Moreover, I am an enthusiastic and passionate English learner. It's been 2.5 years I have been learning English. Simultaneously, since this year, I have even started guiding some beginners, some lower intermediate level of learners. Apart from
Hmm.
that, recently I have started my YouTube channel as well on 16th of this month. And
Wow.
furthermore, my hobbies are talking to people, reading books. When I started learning this language, now everything I can say related to this language only. I love to read book in English. I talk to people.
Hmm.
When I get time, I try to connect to someone so that I can practice English. And even I didn't have the habit of reading books before 2 years. But once I started learning this language, I started getting to know from different YouTubers, different people that if you start reading book in English, you can improve your pronunciation, your voice modulation, sentence structure, grammar, everything. Then I started doing it. Now it has become my habit, and I have
Hmm.
started completely in vernacular medium since till my graduation. and just I
Mm.
B.Ed in English medium, although it was too difficult and challenging for me to comprehend in English, in reading in English, understanding, then writing and speaking as well. I can't even think that right now I'm talking to you in this way. For 2 years, I couldn't even utter a single sentence in English. Yeah.
Right. I think, first of all, Manisha, I want to congratulate you and give a big round of applause for the kind of improvement that you have brought in into your speech. Not only your speech, but also your non-verbals, your confidence, your body language, your voice modulation, the facial expressions, the smile on your face. Everything is so beautifully done. Wonderful job. And I think you are one of the best example that anybody can see and learn from, that what can consistency do to you. Like, if for 2.5 years you have been consistent and you have been doing all the four pillars, not just listening to conversations,
Yeah.
but you have been reading, you have been writing, you have been speaking, and you have been listening. So when you immerse yourself in the language, after 2.5 years, this is where you can get, and this is how you can keep improving, right? So wonderful job done, first of all. I
Thank you.
loved the way you introduced yourself and the things that you spoke about. Very good. And I really appreciate the calm and composed way in which you speak. There is no hint of hesitation, there is no hint of fear. So wonderful, wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. When I see a woman like you, I feel too proud that I also want to become like you. Even that's the reason when I started learning this language, I didn't have the motivation or motto that I would also try to teach someone. But now I
Mm,
realize that everyone wants to learn this language, even though
yes,
they don't want to do any job, but they want to help their children, mostly the mother
right.
they want to. So I feel that why shouldn't I try to help them? Because
Yeah,
some men are introvert, they feel hesitation to talk to some men. So if I
right,
give the classes, and nowadays we have the opportunity, we can give the classes through online, and so
right,
women, so many homemakers, so many working professionals, they have been practicing,
right.
have been doing the conversational videos. I feel so happy. So that's why I
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And that is exactly the kind of mindset that more people need to have. One thing I keep telling everybody all the time is that knowledge is something that is best utilized when you use it to share with others and to also empower others to do good in their life. That is the best use of knowledge that you can, right?
Ex-
Um, However, there is one more thing that is very important to understand, like how you have worked on yourself for 2.5 years, and now you feel that, okay, at this point, I can take that chance and I can take that leap where I can help others to get onto the right track and speak and help them, get fluent with the language or understand the language, right? However, often I see that, nowadays I see a lot of people, they are themselves not confident with what they are saying, what they are teaching, but they're also trying to teach people, right? The issue with that is anybody can be a learner, definitely, but not every learner can become a tutor or a teacher or a trainer, right? So it is very important for anybody who wants to train people. It's a very noble thought to have, it's a very good thought to have, but also, along with that, it is important to first upskill their own selves, that, okay, if I want to take that leap of teaching others, first I should know what I'm doing. I should
True.
know that what I'm teaching is correct. And number
Mm,
two, I should know how to train people. That is also another, huge area that needs to be explored, that needs to be understood, because
mm,
in the process I often see a lot of learners, because they are learning from somebody who is a co-learner or somebody who is not pro with the language, they also pick up a lot of incorrect things. I'm sure must have happened with you in your learning days initially, that
yeah.
you must have heard somebody say something and they said it wrong and then you picked it up. right? So it happens. That's why when you take that leap of training people, it has a lot of accountability and responsibility that you need to have in yourself. So with you at this point, I can say that yes, 2.5 years you have spent good amount of time. You are at a very good stage and you are speaking well. So very interestingly, you mentioned that I have started helping beginners and lower intermediate level students, right? So very, very good way to look at it, that okay, I will take time, and with this approach, with helping the beginners and helping the lower intermediate students, it will help you get to the advanced level. Right now
Exactly.
you're at a very good stage in terms of an upper intermediate kind
Mm,
of communication that you are doing. Now if you get yourself into that habit, because when
mm,
you teach you have to do a lot of research, you have
exactly.
to yourself learn a lot of things, and that is going to take you to the next level. So wonderful. And I would definitely ask everybody who is listening to this video that anytime you all want to take that step of teaching someone, you need to have a game plan, a strategy of first working on your own self, be sure of what you can handle and what you can't, and then take that leap, right? So great.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear it from you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I want to tell you that when it comes to grammar, I already knew when it comes to tenses, but still, when I
Right.
started learning this language, I started revising the tenses because I knew that
Mm,
if I want to speak correct English, my tense should be good. Otherwise, I
right.
can't present, past, or future like this way. Then
Mm,
I started learning, I started speaking in that manner when I got stuck. I wasn't able to make the conditional sentences. Then I learned
mm,
sentences. After that, I worked on every part of grammar because I
right.
need to learn preposition, modal verbs, how can I use can, could, may, might, all the things.
Right.
I have
Yes.
got notebooks, I have prepared vocab, I have prepared idioms. And when I give classes, I first of all I prepare myself. After that, I give
Mm,
classes in this way.
right. Yes.
Vocab, then sentence formation. I learn, then I give the classes. In this way, I'm
Right.
improving. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's a great way to improve. And the one thing that definitely everybody should keep in mind is that don't separate grammar from your English learning journey. Don't think that, okay, let me first do grammar and then I will start speaking. That never works. So, like
Yeah.
you said, that, okay, I started doing this, then I felt that I need to know this as well. I need to know that as well. So, your speaking, your listening, your writing, and your grammar should all be together. That's why it is called surrounding yourself with the language or immersing yourself in the language, right? And that's when you get good results out of it, tangible results out of it that people can see
Exactly.
and people can recognize. Great job. So tell me this, you said that you have started reading a lot of English books. What kind of books do you like reading?
Actually, I read mostly self-help books, although I read
Hmm.
the story as well, because I
Hmm.
believe that in self-help books, people are talking, like they are describing how about some
Right.
incident. So when I
Hmm.
read, try to follow each and everything. For example, if there is a comma, we have to take a
Hmm.
short. If there is a full stop, we have to take a long pause. If there is a
Right.
question, we have to read in this manner that I'm asking a
Right.
question to someone. So when I read, I try to read in a way that I'm speaking. So I
Right.
storybooks, and fortunately, I do have two kids. As I told you, my son is in class
Hmm.
5 and my
Wow.
daughter is in class 1. So I teach them. So that is
Hmm.
also a benefit for me. So
Hmm.
my son, I teach English book, so it also helps me. Apart from that, I have read The Power of Subconscious Mind, Ikigai.
Hmm.
Then
Right.
again, one of my favorites, written by Shikera. Lots of books I collect. I
Hmm.
read every day aloud.
Wonderful.
Something,
Very good.
yeah.
I think you are doing all the right things. All the green flags are there in your learning journey. And that is why you have this fluency. That is why you have this confidence. And that is why you can speak with so much of finesse at this point, right? So wonderful job done.
And I had lots of mother tongue influence, ma'am, to be honest.
Yes,
People would,
mother tongue influence is definitely there, and mother tongue influence is something we need to understand that it has been something which we had for almost 20-30 years of our lives. It
yes,
will not go away in 2 years. It will take time. But
yeah.
the moment you become conscious about it, that
Mm-hmm.
is when it becomes easy, and that is when you can quickly get rid of it and quickly understand that, okay, this is where I'm going wrong, this is the word that I'm pronouncing wrong, let me now try and see how to correctly pronounce it. So the point is, you have to be conscious. Once you
Mm-hmm.
are conscious, it becomes easy.
Yeah, I have learned IP as well, International Phonetic Alphabets. To
Ah.
pronunciation. Pronunciation is
Hmm.
important. Beginning, I have been trying to work on because I had terrible pronunciation, to be honest, at the beginning. Ma'am, I do have one question. Okay,
Yes,
so
sure, sure, go ahead.
yeah, my question is that when it comes to many people, even I have spoken to one trainer, he suggested me that try to practice sentences from Hindi
Hmm.
to English. But to be honest, I have never done that. When I started this learning this language, as
Hmm.
I do mostly Assamese and Bengali at home, but I can
Hmm.
speak Hindi fluently. How?
Hmm.
Because I, since my childhood, I have started watching movies, cartoons, serials in Hindi. And by
Right.
in this way, now I am fluent in Hindi. So when I
Ah.
started learning English language, I thought in my mind that the way I have learned my mother tongue, Hindi, why shouldn't I listen? I should listen a lot in English. That then only I will be able to speak English fluently. Then I started listening. After that, I started deliberately thinking in my mind in English. Because if we are able to think in our mind in English, then only we can speak fluently. But I don't believe in translation method. But sometimes I get difficulties to make understand the beginners because they don't
Hmm.
understand if I speak in English. So what
Right,
to do?
right.
To teach them.
I think you asked a wonderful question. I think the other day I was explaining this to somebody who asked the same kind of question. So it's a very, very tricky situation, but the answer is very simple. Whatever you know about yourself, right? That, okay, I have seen movies in Hindi and I have seen movies in Bengali, so I'm very fluent with the language. So when it comes to English, I need to watch movies in English and I need to, listen to videos that are in English so that it can become one of the natural languages that I can work with, right? That's a very, very valid and a very good thought to have. Anybody who is an absolute beginner in the language, right? So
Mhm,
suppose I say, I was teaching somebody the other day, and that person is an absolute beginner. Okay, so in some sentence I said that, okay, there was a puppy, and he did not understand what is a puppy, right? So
okay.
then when
Mhm,
you have beginners who don't know meanings of basic words, at
mhm,
that time you have to translate. There is no other way that you can teach them
mhm,
other than,
mhm.
first they need to recognize. So if I have something in front of me which I want to tell the other person that, okay, this is what it is called in English. So I have to, even when we were kids, how were we
Mhm.
taught? Our parents showed us a dog and told us that this is a dog.
Dog,
That's when
yeah.
we know that it is a dog, right? Otherwise we would not know. So
Mhm,
that is something that we need to keep in mind. When it's an absolute beginner who don't understand anything, then of course you will take help of translation. From first day, if you talk to them in English, they will not relate to the language and they will not feel interested in the session.
okay.
However, once
Mhm,
you see that somebody is at a beginner level where they have started understanding things, but they can't speak,
yeah.
at
Mhm,
that moment, the translation game should stop.
okay. Mhm,
Because once they
mhm,
understand and they are
mhm,
struggling to speak, that
mhm,
is where the journey with listening, reading needs to start. Okay.
mhm. Yeah.
So for you, if somebody is telling you, okay, you need to try translating Hindi to English, then please do not do that. Not needed. If you do that, what happens is our brain keeps translating because, of course, at heart, we are still comfortable with Hindi and Bengali.
True.
That's our comfort zone. That's our first and second languages, right? So if we keep going back to our comfort zone, it becomes very difficult to be consistent with what we are doing. So beyond the understanding level, no more translation. Before the understanding level, you have to translate. There is no other choice.
Yeah, in A1 level, right? Yeah.
Yes, A1 level, correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing in this way, but still
Mm.
I thought that today I got the opportunity to ask to expert. Oh my god, I should take the opportunity.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. So, any other questions that you have for me today?
Okay, one more question, one last question only. So when it
Mm.
comes to me, now I'm able to communicate, I can articulate my thoughts, but I am not using that much of advanced kind of vocabulary. Although
Mm.
I have written and I know as well. Some vocab sometimes I use in a flow if it comes in my mouth, but I don't much try to put it deliberately in my speaking.
Mm.
Believe
Mm.
that the more I practice, the more I read books, the more I listen people, mostly the good speakers, it will also come in my mouth naturally. So should
Correct.
I put some effort or it's okay the way I'm doing? Because I believe that to reach the advanced level or to get the mastery in English language, it's a time consuming process. It doesn't happen even within 2.5 years. Maybe it will take time. My dream is that I will keep continue. I don't know when
Right.
I will reach that position that I will
Mm.
be proficient in this language. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a very, very good way to look at it. It's very, I would say, possible, and it is something that is attainable. And of course, you need to understand that English or learning any language, rather, it's a journey. You have to keep learning throughout your life. Even if we know Hindi and Bengali since our childhood, we none of us can say that we know everything about the language or we know every word that is there, right? So let us understand this. Very simple, okay? When people say there is this, somehow there is this misconception, I would say, in India, specifically in India, that if you want to show somebody that you are a good speaker, you have to use a lot of difficult words.
Mhm.
But that is just a misconception because when you are speaking, imagine Hindi or English. When you are, oh, sorry, imagine Hindi or Bengali or whatever someone's native language is. When
Mhm.
day to day you are conversing with someone, if somebody is using bombarding words or too flowery words, would you be able to connect with them on a natural level? No,
No.
right? You will automatically feel, why is this person trying to show off? Like you, when you talk to somebody, you don't want to be sitting with a dictionary and finding out meanings, right? So
True. Mm.
the norm is, the basic global rule is, when you are talking to someone or when you are connecting with someone through an email or a message, they should be able to understand you in an easy and simple manner. Like what you are
Mhm.
saying, if it is not understandable by a 7-year-old, then you are speaking through complicated language which is not effective for communication. People likes to hear simple things. People like to hear easy things and clear things, right? So always keep that as your priority.
Mhm.
However, when I say that, if you want to become effective, try and use as less words as possible. When I say
That's
as
right.
less words as possible, that means if there is something that you want to express with two, three different words, and there is one substitute word that you can use instead of those three words, then do that.
Mm.
Like,
Got it.
don't say very fast, say rapid,
Mm. Got it.
right? But it's a
Mhm.
very simple word. Everybody knows what rapid is. But what you are
Yeah.
doing is you are trying to use less words while speaking, which is again an effective way to speak.
True, true. I have already gone through with this problem because one day someone was asking me at the beginning that what kind of weather do you like? I wasn't able to say that moderate weather. I was saying
Mm.
it is not hot, it is not cold.
Right.
So that
Correct.
to know the vocabulary. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Yes. Okay, so I think I had a wonderful time talking to you, and Mosina, I really enjoyed this conversation, the kind of questions you asked, and I would definitely want to connect with you once more in future, where we can talk about something else. We can discuss how your training journey is coming along, and I think that's going to be a very interesting episode for everybody to hear as well. But for now, I wish you all the very best with everything that you are doing. And thank you once again for connecting with me today. You have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again in future.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And right now, to be honest, I'm feeling too comfortable. And one thing I like about you that you're winsome smile, that you always keep smile. And I know about you from Annu ma'am as well. Annu ma'am.
Ah, okay, okay. You know, Anu. All right. Wonderful.
Before talking to you, I was talking to her and I was saying, ma'am is friendly. Annu ma'am is friendly. I talk to her nicely. I know that. I will not feel nervous. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
You're most
taking
welcome.
me and giving me such a precious suggestions. I'll keep in my mind and I'll try my best to level up my communication and as well as my speaking English as well. Thank you so
I
much,
am
ma'am.
sure you will do all of that. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Take care.